Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Future is Bilingual podcast. My name is Heather. It's very strange to be saying those words again, as I was not sure if I would continue to make this podcast. It has been almost 1 year since I published an episode, which means it's probably been a year since I recorded an episode. And I just want to say I'm so happy to be back. And I apologize for the hiatus. Again, an unplanned hiatus. I know this happens. Life gets in the way. And many things have been happening. So, Alhamdulillah. First of all, I have converted. So, if you hear me saying things in Arabic, such as Alhamdulillah, or Inshallah, or MashaAllah, um, those are just words that are an important part of my vocabulary. And yeah, Inshallah, maybe I will explain them in a future episode. But if that does interest you, I also have another Instagram and another podcast that I've started. This did not mean to put this right at the beginning, but I did start another podcast called Arabic Word by Word, where I'm explaining, along with my co-host and my fiance, Arabic words and expressions that people around the world and Arabic speakers use every day. And then we kind of go into detail. First of all, what do the words mean? But then how do we use them in what context, etc. So I have been podcasting this past year. I've also changed jobs. As I said, I converted almost 1 year ago, and many things have happened. And I've just been reflecting back, even when I started this podcast, my children were so young. My daughter was in her first year of life, and now she's 6. So just many, many things have changed and evolved. And I just, would love to continue to share other people's stories as I have been sharing of parents raising multilingual children. There's still many people on my wish of people I would love to interview. There's many people I don't even know yet, maybe you listening, who I would love to interview and hear your story. There's many multilingual people, polyglots, and people I would love to have on the show. And so it just seemed a little bit of a shame to let this podcast kind of just fizzle out. I know the episodes are still there and people can find the podcast whenever they find it, and that's wonderful. But I, as a language lover, as a language teacher, as a polyglot and plurilingual person myself who's living in different languages every day, I still have a lot of opinions and things that I want to share. And I'm a teacher, so I'm constantly thinking of new content and things that I want to share. And yeah, podcasting is my platform of choice, along with Instagram. And yes, so I have decided, although it takes an enormous amount of time, and this is just a hobby for me, it's not anything I make money off of. But alhamdulillah, I love it. And I will hopefully, inshallah, continue to share. And I will continue to look for people to be on the podcast. It does take time, but it's a worthy endeavor and something I have missed doing this past year. But as I said, life gets busy and I changed jobs and I'm really loving my new job. I'm still teaching, but I have switched from teaching French and Spanish to high schoolers to teaching English to adults, and specifically to people who've recently arrived in this country and they have very, very, very low levels of English. Some don't know any English. Some never learned to read or write in their home language. So that is just a beautiful thing that I've been able to be part of, and I really am enjoying it. It's challenging and it's exciting and it's fun. And one of the best parts is that I'm, in this amazing company with people who are very like-minded, who love to help, who, love to welcome people newly arrived in a country, which I very much stand for. And I'm also surrounded by multilingual people all day, every day. So that's an amazing plus and bonus for someone who loves languages, constantly hearing conversations in different languages and we're we need translation sometimes. There's languages I'm able to use my other languages as well, because many clients, they speak French or Spanish. I've even used Polish a little bit with some of the Ukrainian clients, and they've been able to understand me. And we've tried to, and I've been able to understand a little bit of what they're saying, and we have kind of broken a little bit of a barrier. And so, yes, it's been, and of course, I've used Arabic as well. And yeah, it's very rewarding work. And I've wanted to talk about it and post about it, and I think I have here and there, but not a lot. And yeah, just the climate, the political climate, the things we're living through right now. I don't want to say too much. Yes, I don't want to make this in any way political. Um, and just to put the emphasis back on the importance of being multilingual, the importance of raising our children to be at least aware of different languages, different cultures, different ways of doing things and living, and to be welcoming of those and not to have this closed-minded way of thinking that there's only one correct way. That, the diversity is what makes it so beautiful, and we can always learn from each other. So yeah, I'm going to keep this little intro back into the podcast very short, and I will keep some of my other ideas brewing. And inshallah, I will be bringing you a new episode shortly, and hopefully regularly. Although my podcast never really came out on a regular schedule beforehand, so expect the same. It's going to come out when it comes out. I am working full time. I am a mom of two now young kids. And yes, they are still speaking Polish, alhamdulillah. So yeah, I'm just so grateful that you have decided to tune in, that you still have me on your feed somewhere, that you found this episode. I'm so, so grateful because, the topic of the future is bilingual. It's not only for parents. This is really for everyone and anyone. This is if you are a teacher. This is if you are an aunt or an uncle or a grandparent. If you not even have any contact with kids, but you yourself are becoming more bilingual, more multilingual, then your future is bilingual. So this is for everyone and anyone of all stages of life. And it goes beyond the language. This is something I've also been thinking about of how language, we all know, language shapes the way we see the world, and the way we express things is so important. Especially right now, things are so heated and easily misconstrued. And I think it's really important for us to always be thoughtful and really think about what we're saying before we say it, myself included. I'm slowing down as I talk. But really, that here, when we're talking about multilingualism, that there's this beautiful thing that comes out of knowing another language. It's that language might express the same idea, you know. Let's say it's love or it's friendship or it's I don't have money, whatever the expression is, but they're doing it with a different way. They're saying different things, and all of that subconsciously is kind of in your head. It's the way that we say something affects the way you see the world. Now, let me give you an example. This is not a language I speak, but a language I've heard about. So in English, we say, I am sad. I am sad. Like whenever we say something is, it's like an equation. Like this is this. My shirt is black, like an equal sign. And I find it really beautiful that in Irish Gaelic, they don't say I am sad. They say sadness is upon me. And honestly, it's so metaphorical. It's so beautiful that it's like this thing is on top of me. It's weighing me down, but it's also that temporariness. I can get it off me, versus just like I am. Like, how often do we say like, well, I'm just not patient, or I'm an angry person, or I am a bad driver, or anything you say that maybe has this negative connotation, and you just think to yourself like, yep, that's me. That's who I am. It's never going to change. This is all happening subconsciously, right? We're not saying the word never out loud, but when your language has a different way of expressing that this thing just happened to me right now, And it's not this permanentness. I think also we see this with Spanish and English, with Spanish, I should say, because, they have two verbs for to be, one that is very identifying, right? Like soy una mujer, soy maestra. Like these are part of my being, right? I'm a woman, I'm a teacher. This is something identifying. Soy estadounidense, I'm an American, I'm from the US. However, when you're sad or you're having an emotion, you use the other verb, estoy. So, like, I'm temporarily feeling this way. So, again, just the more you know, the more broad, the more your mind is seeing things from different perspectives, from different angles. And that is so critical. That is such a critical part of development. And if we're not exposed to other ways of seeing, if we're not exposed to other people, if we grow up in an isolated community, no matter what the community, then we're not getting this rich perspective. If we're not, reading books, if we're not watching movies or, being exposed to other ways of life, you kind of just can keep going on one trajectory. Like, this is it. Everybody does this. Everybody agrees with me. This is the way it should be. And then anything different looks like a threat. And so I think, in a very small, humble way, I hope to inspire some people to make their future, the future of their kids, whoever you're listening for, more bilingual, but also in the sense of bilingual, multilingual, just more diverse, more rich, more exciting, right? I mean, I have an episode on fluency, and fluency is an amazing goal, but that is such a far end goal. Like myself learning Arabic, it is so far away that you can't look too much in the future. You have to see what is the benefit now of me learning this language or of me sharing this with my kids. Yeah, maybe they don't speak it fluently, but is it enriching their lives? Is this going to bring a positive effect if I do it every day, right? If I keep adding to this bank of knowledge or this way of seeing things, or even just, there's so many reasons why people raise bilingual kids, and I don't want to get into them right now because that is a whole episode in and of itself. So I will speak just to my perspective of my children having their grandparents are Polish speakers. So like having the ability to speak with their grandparents, half of their grandparents, one set of grandparents, to understand them, to understand what's happening when they go to a cultural event, when they go to their Polish school, right? Like they're not just like this lost, fish in the air. Like they are a fish in water, right? They can jump, dive right in. They know what's happening. They feel comfortable. So it's also really, really important, especially when I'm talking for parents here, that you think about what do your kids need, right? Like the need aspect is super important. Again, I'm going to keep this short, as I said 10 minutes ago, so we'll wrap this up. But thank you again for tuning in. I so appreciate it, and I hope, inshallah, to bring you an episode very soon. And I would love to hear from you guys. I know a lot of you have found me on Instagram, but if you are a new listener, welcome. My Instagram is The Future is Bilingual. No spaces, no dots, nothing, just all those words together. And you can also write to me at TFIB, so for The Future is Bilingual, TFIB podcast at gmail.com. And you can also find all of this and more on my website. So just look up The Future is Bilingual. You will see my website. You will see the podcast. And yes, I would love, love, love to hear from you. If you are a parent or someone who would love to share their multilingual journey, please contact me, as I would like to get this podcast back on the road, inshallah. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. And inshallah, I'll hear from you soon. Take care. Bye.